and she's got over 20 years of experience of open water swimming, which I'm sure everyone will hear a lot about today. And more specifically, I think we're going to hear a lot about how to use your mind and body together and how to kind of use that to excel you in any career path which you want. And just to let you know, we are recording, so if you want to have your video on or video off, it's really up to you. All right, over to you, Deniz.
Yeah, thank you, Ethan. Thank you, David. It's a pleasure to be here tonight with you. So I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, so I will start to share my life story, to share some insights about myself. So about my swim challenges, about my swim journey, but also about my career. And I hope you can get some little bit inspiration out of this session, and yeah, find also a little bit, maybe some pieces of yourself in my stories. And of course, it shouldn't be like a monologue, it should be a dialogue. So I'm really happy then to have a dialogue with you and answer also your questions. So feel free to make notes or ask your questions then during our conversation. So I will start. Who am I? I also prepared one pager of myself, so maybe I will share it for a few seconds. You can let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so my name is Deniz Kayadelen. As you understand, it's not a typical German name. So I grew up and born in Germany, but my family comes from Turkey. So I have a multicultural background. And yeah, so I grew up in Frankfurt. And when I was 11, I moved to Turkey and lived there for 10 years. And started to study psychology. So I was always curious about people, human psychology, why people are behaving in different patterns, why they are happy, why they are sad. And it was so, yeah, curious for me. And I decided to study psychology and did many internships during that time. And during my internships, I recognized that clinical psychology was not so mine. I worked in a psychiatry center with some people with schizophrenia orders. I did internship in a worked with people who are drug addicts, who are alcoholics. I worked with some people who yeah, did some mental disorders. And then I decided, okay, this clinical psychology part is too heavy for me, and I enjoy more the business life, the corporate life. And then I decided to do some internships in HR field and in coaching. And it was a really great peace of mind. I explored my passion there and then decided to continue with business psychology. So, and moved back to Germany and did my master's in the area of organizational and corporate psychology. And all these areas covers human resources, change management, talent management, coaching, training. So it's focusing more on the future, how you can leverage the potential of human and how you can motivate them to be more productive, to be more successful. And the clinical psychology was for me more focusing on the past, focusing on the problems. So that's why I decided to go more in the direction of business psychology, in the direction of the future and yeah, future growth. And yeah, so I'm working more than 10 years in the consulting area because from my personality, I don't like routine. And in consulting, you definitely don't find routine because you have always new projects, new challenges, different clients, and every day is different based, yeah, depending on your projects, depending on your clients. And that's why I'm still in the consulting area. I know it's quite challenging because I'm there where my clients are. Of course, now in the Corona time, I'm sitting at home and working from home digitally. But before the COVID time, I was always traveling in different countries, different cities, and yeah, managing different client projects. And I'm a certified change manager. So change management is one of my expert areas. I also have a qualification in coaching and training, and I worked also 4 years in a consulting area where I did assessment center. So it's also interesting for you, of course, when you apply to new jobs. Many companies are having assessment centers, development centers, including online testing like cognitive ability tests, personality questionnaires, on-site assessments. And yeah, so I was 4 years worked as an assessor and decided who will get the job and who not. Yeah, it was a quite challenging job because I was the bad guy, right, to asking the challenging questions, but I enjoyed this role as well. And yeah, so in more than 10 years consulting, I specialized in intercultural management. So that was also my master thesis topic, because as I said before, I grew up in Germany, but I lived then also in Turkey, and I felt always the two cultures are really interesting because it's a little bit different mindset. And I decided to interview German expats in Turkey and ask about their challenges, their positive sides and downsides of an expat life. And I also wrote a book about that. So it's unfortunately in German. Otherwise, I would also do marketing for that, but it's just only in German. And yeah, so that is one of my specialization area, intercultural coaching, intercultural management, because it's all about people, right? So that's many people are asking me, what is business psychology? So it's seeming fancy, but what is behind? And what is behind is especially everywhere are people. So we, without people, we can't be successful, right? So many companies are investing so much money for new processes, new tools, new technology, and that's really important. But we sometimes forget the people side of change, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm managing transformation projects, doing change management, and ensuring that people have the positive mindset, have the awareness of different change initiatives, and feel upskilled and also empowered to deal with different kind of challenges and changes. And the next topic is, of course, talent management. So I'm responsible for creating new talent strategies for companies, new job roles of the future. So as you know, in 10 years, 50% of jobs will be not the same anymore. So 50% of jobs today will be changed. So, and more than 50% of tasks will be done by robotics. So that means all the jobs or all the tasks who is repetitive will be replaced from robots. So that means, yeah, we need to think future-oriented. We need to think what are the future job roles, how you can add benefit, add value with your mind, with your personality, and not just with repetitive tasks. And that is a big topic now, and many companies are transforming their HR processes, their talents, and asking about questions like, what are the future job roles? What kind of skills, what kind of competencies do they need in order to survive in the future? Because there are so many new operating models, so many new different working styles, and they need to adjust, otherwise they will not survive anymore. And that's also the bridge to us, right? So you as a student, you need also to check what is really important for your future, where you can add value, and how we can be successful. So we can speak around that also in the FAQ session. I'm happy to do that. And the next point, which is also one of my passion, Agile Working. So maybe you know, in the Agile Working, the Scrum technique and everything. So that's also a big popularity in the companies. They want to be more flexible. They want to work more agile. And especially now in this COVID situation, we do all our meetings, all our workshops with different online tools, and it's really interesting to see how the jobs, how the tasks are shifted into this digital world, how the networking is now functioning. So everything is changed within, I don't know, 4 or 6 months. And that's really interesting to see how we can leverage agile and digital working now in our business world. So yeah, so this is what I'm doing every day at EY as a manager. You don't want to see my Outlook calendar, otherwise you will get a shock because now also because of the COVID situation, we are, as I said, working digitally, and we have all day back-to-back meetings. So my meetings start at 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. and I'm sometimes happy to find time to go to toilet or to grab me some water, but yes, that's the consulting life. So you have different meetings, you have different clients, different projects that you need to manage, and the people networking communication is key. So with this kind of back-to-back meetings, we are showing visibility and try still to empower our relationships, getting stronger relationships, and try to understand our client needs and try to solve that, even if it's remote. And in the middle, you can see some flags. So I told you about my story with Germany. So Germany is the country where I born and grew up. And now I'm again back in Germany. So it's one piece of my personality is German. I would say my mindset, my working style is more German, and my heart is maybe more Turkish. So many people are asking me, how you feel more German or Turkish? And I don't like these kind of questions because, as you can see, I lived in different countries, worked in different countries, and I feel myself more like a world human, a world person. I don't know, maybe there's a better word to say, but yeah, I like to explore different cultures, different people, and that's exactly my passion. And that's why I always seek to opportunities to go abroad, to work in different countries. And during my master, I worked in Prague in a coaching company and did the coaching internship, for example. Last year, I was in London for 3 months and worked in the EY London office for global change management project. That was a great experience. And this year, 2 months ago, so I was 6 months in South Africa and worked in Johannesburg, so one of the most dangerous cities. So many people say, wow, are you crazy? Why you went to South Africa, to Johannesburg? You could go to New York or to Sydney or to Singapore. But yeah, so that's one of my personalities. So I like challenges. I like go out of my comfort zone and explore something which is different, right? So, and I said, okay, I will find the difference more in South Africa rather than maybe in Singapore, because Singapore, New York, so these are cities which is more predictable, but Johannesburg was for me so unpredictable. It was dangerous. There were so many rules, and it was definitely out of my comfort zone. But when I reflecting the time in South Africa, it was one of my best time. It led me to write my book, Out of Comfort Zone, because this city, this country inspired me so much, especially during lockdown. I had also the time, unfortunately, because I couldn't explore South Africa so much and just needed to sit at my home and work. And it was a great chance. It was a great situation to use this challenge as a chance, and started to write my book, which you can see on the right side. And so what I wrote in my book, Out of Comfort Zone, so it's about my swimming journey. So I swimming more than 20 years. I started when I was 11, and swimming was always a passion for me. But how I started to swim, so when I moved from Germany to Turkey, it was a big challenge for me. It was a big issue for me because I didn't want to go to Turkey. So my parents was divorced, And my mom said one day, okay, let's go to Turkey. So I don't want to live anymore in Germany. And it was for me a big challenging time because I lost my friends, my family broken. And then I went without any friends, nothing, to Turkey, to Istanbul. And I started then to swim. And swimming gave me the power, the energy, the balance to find for me a place where I feel safe, where I feel empowered, and yeah, staying strong. So that's why swimming has a really big meaning for me, for my life. And that's why I'm still swimming. Because many people say, wow, you are in a consulting job. You can't swim, you can't do training. So maybe you can't swim, but you can't join the competitions and so on. And you will always hear these kind of thing, right? So are you crazy? Why are you going to Johannesburg? Oh, in consulting, you can't do competitive sports. But all these kind of limiting beliefs are just limiting beliefs. So if you want something, you can do it. And I'm really happy to not stop with swimming. So it's always it's always part of my life. And I'm joining German championships, Turkish championships. Last year, I joined the World Championships, Oceanman in Mexico, in Cancun. And I'm in the top 10 of open water races. I'm the Turkish record holder in butterfly, in 200 meters butterfly. And one of the maybe most three fast women in Turkey. And yeah, so how it comes, I think I follow my passion, and the more I follow my passion and invest, of course, time and energy, the more you are getting successful. And I know it's a hard work, so it's a hard work to still keep the pace in my job, in my business, and still find the energy and time for swimming. But I invest my time on weekends and 2 or 3 times during the weekdays, try to train. So I train 4 or 5 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week. And when you ask what you did in your holidays, the last 15 months, I would say all my holidays, I invest all my holidays for swimming, for swim races, for swim campings, because last year I prepared myself for the English Channel. You know, English Channel, Dover is really cold. The water is around 17 degrees, 16 degrees, 15 degrees. It depends on the day, depends on the month. And I found a team, and we did a relay last year in London, not in London, in Dover. So we started from Dover and finished in France. It took us 15 hours, and the water was freezing cold, but at the end we did it. And for this challenge, I prepared myself in the cold water. So normally I hate cold water, so cold water is really not mine. I always like hot showers and hot pool water. And so that was a big mindset shift for me to say, okay, even if I don't like the cold water, I'm going in. Even if I have fears regarding cold water, I'm going in and I still stay there. And every day I will stay longer in this cold water. And this kind of challenge, this kind of mindset challenge inspired me then to write this book, Out of Comfort Zone, because at the end, I not only swam in relay team, the English Channel, I swam also in the North Channel. And North Channel is one of, or it's the hardest, it's the toughest swimming marathon parkour in the world. Because in North Channel, we started from Ireland and finished in Scotland. And the water temperature is 12 degrees. So it's 5 degrees colder than English Channel. And you have big jellyfishes. And if one jellyfish touches you, you have a danger of losing your life because it's really toxic. And yeah, so this 1 year preparation enabled me to also swim with my relay team, the North Channel. And this year, in February, before lockdown, I swim in South Africa. I don't know if you know the Robben Island. And the Robben Island is the island where Nelson Mandela also stayed there in the prison. And it's really famous, the Robben Island, as the name says, Robben. So it's famous with the white sharks, and also one of the most dangerous parkours for swimming. And I said, okay, I will do this challenge. Now I'm in South Africa, so let's try. Even if I'm afraid of the sharks, I organized a team. I organized one swimmer who is the world record holder, by the way, in this parkour, and organized also a protection for sharks. So there's a magnet piece which you can put on your leg or on your hand, and it protects you from white sharks. So, or maybe it was a placebo effect, I don't know, but at least I had all these preparations, and yeah, I swam from Robben Island to Cape Town. It took me 2.5 hours, and the water temperature was 14 degrees. Yeah, after all these experiences, I said, okay, what am I waiting for to write this book? Because every time, I don't know if you also something feeling like that, but it was for me like, okay, what kind of stories do I have? I need to accomplish this, I need to do this in order to write something, in order to tell my stories. But at the end, I said, I need to appreciate what I experienced, and I need to share it with others, because it was so special and it was so challenging for me. And at the end, I was so proud to face my fears, go out of my comfort zone, and did all these swim challenges, which has a really big meaning for me in life. And that's why you can see also my motto, follow your passion, is one of my main motto, because if you don't feel that you are passionate for this, what you are doing, or if you don't have a purpose behind, even if you are the most clever person in the world, even if you have the most best capabilities in the world, you will not be happy. And if you are not happy, you will not continue in this. And that's really important. Based on my experience, I can tell you, so follow your passion, because then you will be happy, and then you will be in a natural flow in your life. And the second one, what I also find it's important, is exploring yourself, exploring the world. That's why exactly I went to South Africa, I went to London, and say, okay, cool. What are these countries giving to me? What kind of inspiration I can get from these countries? And in South Africa, okay, I was 4 months in lockdown from these 6 months. I needed to always be careful because of this dangerous city. But at the end, I learned so much about myself, about others, and it gave me so much back now in my life. So I have the feeling that even in this 1 year, my mindset changed, and I'm a more open person. I face challenges more relaxed. And the third one is what I learned is that there's no limit what you can accomplish. When I reflect of 2 years ago, I even couldn't dream to swim in the cold water more than maybe 10 minutes. And at the end, I swam 2.5 hours in this cold water with the risk of attacked by white sharks. So that's why I think it's really important to, even if you have some fears, to go out of your comfort zone, also in your job, in your career, and say, okay, so I will try it at least. And you don't have anything to lose, because even if you don't reach at this time your goal, the experience what you have in this journey, that makes you stronger. And I think the journey is important at this time. So that's about me. And I also created a model which explains my thought process. So here you can see my model, which I combined with swimming as well. Most of people are in the comfort zone. So that's the first step, what you can see also on the left side. in our comfort zone, we feel safe, we feel in control, right? And why we don't go out of our comfort zone? Because we feel fear. We don't want to take risks because we are not confident. We don't know how we would react. We don't know what we are capable of. And then we find excuses and say, oh no, it's cold outside, or no, I'm too busy, or no, I'm not lucky enough, I can't try it. And then we are also affected by other people's opinions, like, oh, it's too dangerous, don't try it. Oh no, you are not good enough, or it's too risky, so please stay at home, etc. But these kind of limiting beliefs are also affecting us and makes us more, or leads us to feel more unsecure. But when you face your fears and say, no, I'm going out of my comfort zone, then you are going to your learning zone, where you really learn to deal with these challenges, where you acquire new skills automatically, and where you extend your comfort zone, because the more you are going out of your comfort zone and the more you learn new things, the more you will have a bigger zone of your comfort zone. And that's exactly also the growth zone, which you see on the completely right side. You find your own purpose, you find your own passion, you live your dreams, you set new goals because you know what you can, and you know that you, despite your fears, you can do more and more, and find for yourself a better way of managing your life. So that's the model what I have in my book, and around these zones I describe my stories. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward also to your feedback when you read the book, and happy to speak about you also around these topics. Yeah, so here I won't stop, because I assume you have different questions, and I think I spoke more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've just got a few questions coming through to me privately in the chat. If anyone has got any questions, pop them in the chat, and I can read them out, or you can unmute yourself and ask them to Deniz directly. Yeah. Okay, so the first one says, how do you keep yourself motivated even when external factors in life may get in the way? Obviously, you've accomplished a lot in your time. How do you keep them going?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Because not always everything is shining like shining on the outside, and it's sometimes I have also moments where I feel sad or I feel tired, and I think you need also a good support system in your life. I'm really lucky that I have great friends. My family is supporting me, my friends, so I know who I can call when I feel down, when I feel sad or bad. So the support system is really important, because you are not successful completely alone. So you need people who are supporting you. You need people with whom you train, with whom you challenge your ideas and so on. That's first. The second one is the mindset. So I always try to see at the end the positive side, or have the expectation that even if the situation is difficult, I need to be strong. I need to do the best of it. And I believe that from every challenge, we can get the best of it. So we can transform the pain, we can transform the challenge to a better way of ourselves, and to grow. And of course, sometimes you don't feel like that, you feel exhausted, but then it's also okay to have a rest and just sit and just chill and just do nothing until you feel again empowered, you feel again the power. But for me, speaking about my feelings really helps. So I have a mindset to be strong. So I think I need to be strong, but I don't have any issues to speak about my emotions when I feel bad or sad. And that's really helping me, because then I get again back some motivational speeches from my friends and family, and then feel again not alone and feel, okay, there's hope and I can continue and I will continue.
Wow, that's very, very good advice. So yeah, definitely a support network is important, 100%.
Yeah, sharing emotions, because you feel that you are not alone, right? So we have always sometimes the pressure to stay strong, but when you share your emotions, you understand that you are not alone and other people maybe feel the same. And then you reflect that you are strong enough to overcome this bad feelings and again, do something what motivates you, what makes you feel better.
Yeah, exactly. One more question here says, what's your top tips for students in interviews and especially in assessment centers? You said you were assessing people and being the bad guy there, but what do you really look for at EY in particular and in the consulting industry?
Yeah, so there are few points important. So first of all, be authentic. That's important. So what does it mean being authentic? Know what you can, what you want. So you need to be clear in who you are, what you want, and why you want it. And that's why I say authentic, because some people, I can feel it, right? So some people are just sending an application because they need a job. And then you can feel it, you understand it. Or some people don't know what they want. And they say, okay, I can work also in change management, but I can also work in the talent management area or also leadership area. So it's okay. So no, it's not okay. So you need to know what you really want and why you want and describe it in an authentic way. Also, you need to know the company, what you're applying for, because now in this digital world, it's so easy to send an application, right? Even with LinkedIn, you have a profile, you can send it at one click to 10 companies. But all these 10 companies understand if you really want this company, or is it a CV from a standard one. So you need to tailor your CV. You need to tailor your words, your expectations, depending on the company you apply for. You need to be clear why you want this company, what you appreciate, what you expect from this role. And the best advice is also read and understand what they really need in this job. What kind of competencies are important? Because around that, you can reflect for yourself, what are your strength points? And always have examples in your mind. Always reflect for yourself what kind of situations you challenged. For example, if we say in the consulting job, creativity is important, resilience is important, flexibility is important. So beforehand, you need to find examples from your life story where you were flexible, where you show resilience, where you show good communication skills. If you have this reflection and these examples on your mind, then you have a better communication and feel yourself more confident. And of course, reflect also your pain points. Where do you want to grow? Where you think you have development areas? And don't be afraid and shy also to tell this, because at least we are humans, right? Nobody is perfect. And it's important to reflect your strengths, but also your pain points and speak about that in a confident way. So it's all about having your own story and explaining your own story in a confident and authentic way. And of course, preparation is key. Prepare yourself, understand company's culture, the company's needs, and have always a bigger picture. So that's also important in this kind of interviews. And in assessment centers, it's important that you do exercises. So if you are invited to online assessments, or if you're invited to on-site assessments, so do some research around what kind of assessment exercises you will have. Like, is it a role play? Is it a presentation exercise? Is it a competency-based interview? And really prepare yourself. So do internet research, do some role plays with your friends, get feedback. So preparation is key.
Yeah, definitely. What I'm sure a lot of people here would love to know. What is the culture of EY? Obviously, a lot of the big four companies have kind of the same fundamental pillars, I would say. But what would you say is like the absolute fundamental culture of EY? Why would anyone sitting here want to work at EY?
EY has a really, so our purpose is building a better working world. And EY has a really open culture. Open culture means still you can be your own personality. So you need to adjust yourself, of course, but everybody has their own personality and it's respected. We have a great teamwork, we have great collaboration, because the image of many consulting firms are that there's competition, right? But I didn't felt any competition until now. I feel more collaboration, inclusion. It's an intercultural, international company. I work with different cultures, with different countries. And the mindset is a growth mindset. So we all supporting each other to be better, to be grow together. And the learning opportunities are really various. So I can do different kind of learnings, coachings. And yeah, I think it's, if you know your way and if you know the right contacts, it's an endless opportunity. Of course, you need to work hard. Of course, you need to prove yourself, but you need to do it everywhere, right? But EY offers you different opportunities, different kind of growth opportunities. And what I appreciate is that the teamwork, the culture is really nice. It's not a competitive culture. It's more like how we can grow, how we can serve the best client experience, how we can challenge ourselves to be better, but not in a negative way. It's a more in a constructive way.
Yeah, that's brilliant. David here has got a question. I think he's gonna unmute himself. And
yeah.
Hi Denise. I just very quickly on behalf of the Investment Society for us, my question. Just want to thank you again for coming to speak. It was so incredible to hear about you, your career, your swimming. I went to Robben Island actually myself a couple of years ago on a boat, and I saw the sharks, I saw the seals. I know how dangerous it is. So I have immense respect for you and what you do. My question is, what is obviously now you're working at home online, what's the biggest challenge that you face, you know, the biggest change you've seen in your daily routine, and how are you coping with that?
That is a great question, David, because yes, I'm exactly again out of my comfort zone right now. I wrote an article in South Africa when I didn't could go outside, and it was most of the biggest challenging times for me. And right now again, because all the pools are closed, all the fitness centers are closed. At least here we can go for a run outside. But yeah, for me to be without water is like, I don't know, without breathing, like the feeling. And the last days I went for a run, but my body is not used to running. So I enjoyed my food. And the same situation was also in South Africa, because I run 10K every day and my body is not used to run 10K, right? So I enjoyed my food again there. So that's, I tried to cope with running, but obviously my body said, no, you can't run every day 10 kilometers. And now I started with meditation. I don't know if you know Dr. Joe Dispenza, but yeah, he has a nice meditation exercises, and I every day wake up and do half an hour the meditation. The meditation is about focusing on your future, focusing on your dreams, what you want to achieve in the future, and focusing your energy on this, rather than thinking about the past and about your problems and what's not going well. So it's a nice meditation to start your day, to be more positive and to activate your day. And yeah, I'm doing this to balance myself. So meditation, walking outside, having my own quality time is important, because as I said, we have back-to-back meetings, right? But still, you don't need to forget yourself. You need to do something good for you in order to perform better. So I have every morning cold showers. This cold shower is a really good start also of the day, because you activate your body, and I do also some breathing exercises combined with the cold shower. So that's my morning routine. So I start with meditation, doing breathing exercises, and have a cold shower. And then I feel more energized. I also do some YouTube gym exercises in my house. So to do a little bit sport, to be still stay fit. And yeah, during the day I'm working. Sometimes it's hard to motivate myself to work and not going out and not swim. But as I said, this kind of meditation and sports and cold shower, and in the evening, cooking some delicious food and enjoy just 1 hour the quality time with yourself or with some friends. So that's how I am coping right now.
Great, thank you.
Okay, we've got one more question from Henry. So Henry, if you'd like to ask it.
I'm here. Thanks again, Denise. That was a really, really inspiring talk. Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, thank you. We can hear
Wonderful.
you.
I'm on the computer, which has the functioning microphone, which is good. Yeah, that was very, very inspiring, particularly, again, as David mentioned, the story from Robben Island to Joburg in those waters. I know that they're treacherous. I think what I was going to ask, you've largely touched on a lot of aspects, but I just wondered if there was anything else that you would shed light on with regards to, you know, having a successful career, but then also having a really big goal, you know, in terms of on the side, you know, what you've done with swimming whilst being at EY and having, you know, back-to-back meetings for 11 hours is incredible. I know you've mentioned meditation and kind of, you know, having a strong social network and keeping positive, but is there anything else specific? And like, how do you deal with that, with the thing in the back of your mind going, look, I don't want my career to fall apart. Are these goals too big? Is there anything else that you would say that would really help somebody in that situation?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think that there is not a right one answer, because everybody is different. It depends. Everybody has different passions or different hobbies. The most important part is to know yourself, to know your thought processes, and to find a way how you can cope with your challenges and cope with your emotions, right? Because so everybody feels sometimes upset or frustrated, and I have also these kind of times where I feel frustrated, or where I think, okay, it's too much, right? It's too much with work and swimming. And so I'm not just swimming, I attend competitions, so I want also be in my swim career #1, and also in my job #1, and sometimes it's overwhelming. And then I also say to myself, okay, so it's okay maybe if I not be #1 at this time. So, but then again, after 2 hours, I say, no, you need to be #1. So my mind is also sometimes playing with me. And I think in this kind of times, it's good to prioritize yourself. So not feeling panic, and reflect. So what I do most of the time is also reflecting and challenging myself as well, and saying, okay, what is really important in your life? So especially in this COVID time, I recognized most important part is your health, and not just your physical health, your mental health is really important. So that's my reflection. So you need to come first in your life, because when you are healthy, when you are feeling good, then you can give other people something. And that's what I learned. So for example, if I have back-to-back meetings and one colleague wants something from me, I learned to say sometimes no. I learned to say sometimes, sorry, I need to go and have a walk half an hour, and I can speak after half an hour. So I need to learn also to setting more my boundaries and saying no, and protecting myself. And saying no doesn't mean that you are weak or you can't manage anything. So it means that you are protecting your own borders. So this is one of what I do, especially in these times. And also setting priorities, and don't try to do everything at once, because we tend to do everything at once, right? So, okay, job, career, and this and this. So I use my holidays to focus more on swimming. But of course, I know when I don't swim 4 times a week, I don't feel balanced. So I take the time to swim. I take the time to do my sports. And then I feel again more balanced for work. So you need to find your balance, and need to know what is important in your life and what keeps you happy. So again, I came to what I said before. So what keeps you happy? Because just working, just earning money, so that's not, for example, my goal, or that wouldn't make me happy, because money, you can earn it anyway. So we are smart people, right? We have education, money comes anyway, but you need to find the way where you feel your purpose. And I'm lucky to say that I like my projects, I like my clients, so I enjoy my consulting job. But I know it's not everything. So I try to invest time, I try to find time for my friends, for my family, and for my hobbies. And I know it's not easy sometimes, but it's, again, the question how you prioritize your time, how you prioritize yourself, and how you set boundaries and say, okay, today I have no time. After 6, I don't have any time. And do your sports. And it needs exercise. And it needs structure. So you need to structure a little bit yourself, your life, in order to follow your priorities. And of course, sometimes you have moments where you feel stressed, and then it's also okay to feel like stressed. That's also what I learned, to accept it. So it's sometimes okay to feel weak or to feel stressed, because we are all human beings, right? We are not super humans. So that's also what I learned. Sometimes accepting, not panicking, and then I feel more relaxed when I have the feeling of acceptance. And the last one is, I also seek help. If I have the feeling I'm overwhelmed, also in my job, I call my manager and say, you know what? So it was 3 days ago, actually. I wrote her an email. I said, hello, I have this kind of project, which takes my 40 hours per week. On top, I have this tasks, I manage this solution and this approach and this team. So that's just for your information. I hope in 2 weeks I will get better. And but I need your support in this and this aspects. And she was really happy that I provide her this transparency. And she said, okay, so let's remove some work or tasks from your table. So why you didn't come and say it to me earlier? So it's all about communication and making also transparent when you sometimes seek help.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here. But before we do, I'm just gonna pop your book in the chat. So I've just put the Amazon link in the chat for everyone to see. So if you want to click on it, then I think it's like £1 or something. It's an absolute bargain. So I strongly recommend everyone to purchase a copy. Yeah, I want to say a very, very warm thank you to everyone on the committee at the Investment Society. And it's been very, very interesting and motivating to hear you speak today. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you so much, and it's a great initiative. So keep going. Wish you all the best, all the success. Stay healthy, stay safe, and yeah, let's keep in touch. And if you need anything from EY perspective, let me know. I'm more than happy to support. And yeah, take care. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thanks,
All right,
Deniz.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.